Introducing the new Avenue layering engine for broadcast, live venues, and presentation. Multi-layering keying and background transitions are controlled through an amazing, easy-to-use iPad interface. The program and look-ahead preview outputs make it perfect for branding, small master control, fly pack, and central casting.
Hi, I'm Phil Kurz with Broadcast Engineering Magazine. I'm with Pete Routhier, who is the Vice President, 3D Excellence for Technicolor. Thanks for joining me today.
Pleasure.
Great. Pete, you are on a panel today that's going to be talking a little bit about taking 3D experience from the theater to the home. I was wondering what are some of the highlights of what you're going to be presenting.
Okay, basically what I'm going to talk about is, since there's not that much content to bring to the home, a lot of the content we see is large screen like IMAX movies or digital cinema movies that are transferred to the home. When that is done in 2D, you use traditional pen and scan techniques to bring it to the home. But in 3D, since both of those formats, large screen and digital cinema, have very specific ways in which they were made because of the environment, they need to be adapted properly if we want the viewer to have a comfortable experience.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of the viewer, are you happy with or disappointed in the uptake of 3D in the home by viewers at this point?
What I think about that is that basically we had a bit of a insane rush around 2010 where everyone said 3D was going to be everywhere. At that time, I remember I was talking about consolidation. 3D is technically very difficult, and it does not mean that everything translates well into 3D. So I think we've seen a lot of experimentation. People that join without necessarily having all of the proper equipment and the proper know-how, which created a lot of content, but not necessarily of very high quality. So I think for the future of 3D, what is going to be important, especially in the home, is to have high quality, comfortable experiences more than high volume. And if you look at the different broadcasters, the ones that have the most success, like Sky in the UK, that's exactly what they did, is they focused on viewer comfort and very stringent specifications.
Does audio stereoscopic display fit into the comfort of the viewer and the comfort of the viewing experience in 3D?
We hear a lot about glass-free displays as people find the hassle. You know, I have glasses, so putting 3D glasses on top of it is kind of a hindrance factor. But honestly, from everyone that I've seen, when you present a very compelling experience, people forget about the glasses and have a great experience. So glass-free displays, technically challenging, technically not just to display images, but actually the whole ecosystem of creating, producing, post-producing, and feeding those displays with a good experience means that you're losing resolution, it's more complicated, more expensive. So I think the key still goes through quality content more than the display device.
Right, and we started off by talking about a few years ago, about the time Avatar came out, and there was so much excitement about 3D. Do you think that some of the shine is worn off of 3D and maybe we're getting more to a more realistic phase of deployment?
Yes, absolutely. What I think is that we had, I would say, a lot of enthusiasm that was not necessarily understanding how complicated producing high quality 3D is. So we had a lot of people just jump on a bandwagon, not necessarily being fully equipped, fully prepared for it. Now I think that has worn off. We have now also a more savvy viewer that has seen good and bad 3D, so they know what they're looking for. So if you look, for example, on the cinema side, the movies that have the best box office in the last year in 3D are movies that were designed for 3D and marketed as a 3D experience. So you have to go all in. You can't just say, you know, I'll make my movie and make a 3D option. You have to think about it and design it for 3D if you want to have success.
Well, Pete, thanks for taking out a few minutes to come in and talk to me.
It's a pleasure. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.